Hi everyone. In today's session, we will be going to know about the endemism. Let's begin. So, when a species is found only in a particular geographical region because of its soil and climatic condition, it is said to be endemic. Okay, so endemism means what? So, when a species is found only in a particular geographical region because of its soil and other climatic condition, it can be said as the endemic. Okay, so endemic plants are special because they are found in only one location on the planet and nowhere else. So, we can see the endemic plants only in one location and they are not seen in other locations. Okay, example we can give like if we see some species only in the India, and those species are not found in other countries or the other continent, so such species can be considered as the endemic plants. Okay, or consider A is a group of a family which is found only in India. Okay, so these A group of plants, they are not found in other countries like Australia and America. So such type of groups of plant species are said to be endemic plants. Okay, so endemic plants are special because they are found only in one location on the planet and nowhere else. So such type of plants are known as the endemic plants. And the species found naturally in its only one geographical area is termed as the endemic. Okay, so a species found naturally in only one geographic area is termed as endemic. So we came to know about the word endemism. Endemism means what? So the organisms or the plant species, they are found in only one particular location on the planet and nowhere else. Such type of organisms or the plants or the animals are said to be endemic organisms or endemic plants or endemic animals. Okay, so the opposite word to the endemism is cosmopolitan. So cosmopolitan means it is found everywhere. Okay, so the extreme opposite of the endemism is cosmopolitan distribution. So cosmopolitan distribution means, example, bryophytes like Riccia, Markensia, Funaria, they are found everywhere on the planet. Okay, so they are said to be cosmopolitanly distributed. Okay, so the extreme opposite of the endemism is nothing but cosmopolitan. And the other factors like physical, climate, and biological factors, they contribute to the endemism. And the concept of the endemism was first given by the Candolle. So he stated that when a species is found only in a particular geographical region because of its isolation, soil, and climatic condition, it is said to be endemic. So the first concept of the endemism was given by Candolle, and this endemism represents a unique step in process of evolution. Also, it plays a role in several taxonomic categories. So this was about the endemism. Moving towards the next, that is the types of endemics. Okay, so there are many types of endemics, and the most important types, they are paleo endemism as well as the neo endemism. Okay, so these are the two endemisms which are very important. And other types of the endemisms, they are epibiotic endemics and progressive endemics, retrogressive endemics, local endemics, pseudo endemics, micro endemics, conservative endemics. So these are the types of the endemism. The main important types, they are paleoendemism and neoendemism. So what is this paleoendemism means? So it refers to the species that was once widespread but now restricted to the smaller area. Such species are known as the Paleo endemism. Okay, so what is paleo endemism? The species which that was once widespread and has been restricted or reduced to the smaller range or area. Such type of species are known as the paleo endemism. So this difference, once it was widespread, and now for certain reasons it was reduced, or it is restricted in few areas. So this may happen in two reasons, that is in climatic conditions, or it may depends upon the soil type. Okay, so such species are known as the paleo endemism. Next one, that is a neo-endemism. As the name says, neo means what? New. Okay, so it refers to the species that has recently arisen, and such species they will be having diverged, and they become reproductively isolated. Okay, such species are known as the neo-endemism. So what is neo-endemism? The species that has recently arisen are known as the neo-endemism. So a lot of work is going on the neo-endemics on the basis of the cytotaxonomic studies. Few scientists have differentiated this neo-endemism into three types. They are schizoendemics, patroendemics, apoendemics. Okay, so these are the types of the endemics which come under a neo-endemism on the basis of cytotaxonomy. So what is this schizoendemics? So it is derived from having given rise to the more widespread species of the same chromosomes. Okay, so the plants or the animals which are having same chromosomes and they are widely spread, and such species are known as the schizoendemics. Okay, so the second one, that is petroendemics. Okay, so what is this petroendemics? So here the restricted, it is species are restricted diploid, which gives a rise to the widespread polyploids. Okay, so here the restricted species which are diploid and which give a rise to the widespread polyploids. So these are haploids, polyploids, and the number of the chromosomes, they all come under the studies of the cytotaxonomy, which we will be going to know about that in the next sessions. Okay, so what is a petroendemics? So here the restricted species which which have the diploid characters, they give a rise to the widespread polyploids. Okay, so polyploid means what? One or more than two sets of chromosomes, and diploid means two sets of chromosomes. Okay, so these are the difference between polyploidy and diploidy. Diploidy means two sets of chromosomes, and polyploid means one or more than two sets of chromosomes. And another type, that is apoendemics. So here the restricted species which were arise from the polyploids, they give a rise to the widespread diploids. So there is a slightly difference in petroendemics and apoendemics. So what happens in petroendemics? Here the diploids will give a rise to the polyploids, and in apoendemics the polyploids will give a rise to the diploids. So these are the types of the endemics which come under the neoendemics. And other endemics, they are epibiotic endemics. So what is this epibiotic endemics? So here it is also known as the relic endemics. Okay, so relic means which survived earlier time. So this endemism here, the plants belong to the fossil groups. Okay, so they are restricted to the favorable climate. Example we can give the ginkgo biloba, which is restricted to the China, but it is widely spread in north temperate zone as a fossil. Such species we can term them as the epibiotic endemism. Okay, so due to the favorable climate or the lack of competition, such species we can consider them as the epibiotic endemics. Okay, and according to the Richardson in 1978, according to him, the endemics is the intermediate between two extremes, and those two extremes they are hollow endemics and active epibiotics. So according to him, holoendemics means plants which are not of recent origin but have retained the characters of the distribution. He called them as the holoendemics. Okay, so holoendemics means what? Plants which are not of recent origin but have the characters of the distribution. They are known as the hollow endemics. And the second term is that if the local condition induce the reactivation of the paleoendemics, evolving new endemic species after long gap, he called them as the active epibiotics. So we know that paleoendemics means what? Here the species that are once widely spread and now it is restricted to the small area are known as the paleoendemism. Okay, so in second extreme, according to him, if the local condition induce the reactivation of the paleoendemics, evolving the new endemic species after long gap, such type of species he called them under the active epibiotics. And other endemisms, they are local endemics. Local endemics means what? The endemism confined to the exceptionally limited area. Okay, such type of species are known as the local endemics. And what is this microendemics? So the microendemics means the neoendemics of the lower groups. Okay, so neoendemism means newly formed species. Okay, so recently arise species which are having characters and reproductive isolated characters, they come under the neoendemism. Okay, so this microendemism, they are the lower groups of the neoendemics. And here the endemics forms the lower taxon. So lower taxon means what? So in neoendemism, it is taxon is of young and it is new. Okay, taxon is nothing but a taxonomical hierarchy which we can describe them as the levels of the organisms. They are nothing but genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom, and the domain. They are nothing but they are known as the taxon, or you can call them as the taxonomic rank, or you can call them as the taxonomical hierarchy. So they are nothing but levels of the organisms. In in neoendemism, what happens here? The taxon is of young and it is new. And in microendemics, here what happens? They are the lower groups of the new endemics. Okay, so here the endemics forms the lower taxon. Okay, such type of species are known as the microendemics. And next one, that is progressive endemics. Progressive means what? As the name say, continuously. Okay, so progressive means continue. And by here, when the species has evolved in a certain area from which it cannot spread, such type of species we can term them as the progressive endemics. Okay, they are evolving in certain area, the growth or it is having the progressive level or continuous growth level in one certain area, and but it cannot spread in other areas. Such type of species we can get them under the progressive endemics. So these are the few types of the endemics. Moving towards the next slide, that is the characters of the endemics. So what are the characters of the endemics now? The first one, it says that they are localized in distribution. They are localized in distribution means what? They are found in only one particular geographical region. Okay, and hence for that they are unable to invade, or they are unable to found in fresh areas. Okay, so they are localized in distribution means they are found in only particular region of their narrow ecological amplitude. Okay, so and unable to invade in fresh areas due to the formation, or they are found in only one particular zone, and hence they cannot move in other areas. Okay, so it is the first characters. They are localized in distribution because of the narrow ecological amplitude, or you can say because of the soil and climatic conditions, they cannot move from one place to another place. Okay, so it will become your first character. Secondly, they lack potentially to migrate because of the saturate genomes. So we know that saturate genomes means the endemics, it also depend upon the cyto taxonomic studies. Okay, so we came to know about that in new endemism. So on the basis of cytotaxonomic studies, the endemism, it was divided into three types, that is schizoendemics, patroendemics and apoendemics. So here this endemics, it depends upon the chromosome number, and hence it lacks the potentially to migrate. Okay, so it may be of same chromosome number, or polyploids come here, diploids come here. So this will be your second characters. They lack potentially to migrate due to this reason. Okay, so which is the reason, due to the chromosome number, they cannot move from one place to another place also. And the real endemics never migrate. So the real endemics never migrate means they are found only in that particular geographical zone, and they are known as the real endemics, and they will never move from one place to another. And while we can see new endemics, they have potential to migrate. Neoendemics means we know that the species that has recently arisen. Okay, so here we know that some species are found in a particular region, and that is known as the endemics. Okay, and here in neoendemics, there will be always the formation of the new species in some particular regions, and under unfavorable condition, that species they can migrate into other places. Okay, so hence new endemics have potential to migrate. Now the last one, that is the dispersal propagules. The propagules are nothing but vegetative structures of the plants, and here the dispersal of the propagules are not able to sustain during the migration to the other area. That means while the migration, the vegetative organs or the reproductive organs, they may not support that migrated area, and it may be due to the physical barrier. Another character is that the degree of the isolation of the area involved is usually proportional to the percentage of endemic species in flora. So what does it mean? So the area which is involved in the process of endemism, it is directly proportional to the percentage of the species in flora. Flora is nothing but the plant species. Okay, so the area, it is directly proportional to the endemic species. So these are the characters of the endemics. Next one, that is factors which are responsible for the endemics. So the factors and process that increase the endemism in general, they are related to the biological traits and environmental condition. Okay, and the biological traits, like example we can say life form and life cycle, genome and genetical processes, and also the pollination, production of the propagules. Propagules, as I said, they are the vegetative structures that detaches from the parent plant, and which give rise to the new plant. And the dispersal mode, dispersal modes means detachment of the spores. Okay, so these are the biological traits, and these are the factors which affects the endemism, and also which are responsible for the endemism. And also there are environmental conditions like continuous or without break of the evolution, and also which leads to the heterogeneity. Heterogeneity, it is nothing but a quality or a state of being diverse in a character. Okay, so these conditions, they also promote the speciation process in the endemism, and which is the factor of the endemism. Here you can see some of the endemic plants, that is alpine plant and acacia, rhododendron and phenophyta. So these are few endemic plants which we can see here. So here you can see I have kept a slide of a red data book. So what is this red data book or the red list? So it is slightly related to the endemism. So we all know that IUCN, okay. So the IUCN is an international organization that works in the field of conservation of the world's flora and fauna. Flora, it is nothing but a plant community. Fauna is nothing but the animal community. Okay. So the IUCN, it works for the conservation on the flora and fauna, and this is an important international body, especially in light of the IUCN red list. So the IUCN red list is the compliant or found by the IUCN. Okay, so it is considered the world's most dealing information source. So it is having the information sources about the extinction risk status of the plants, animals, and fungus species. And it gives the information about the population size, range, habitat, ecology, and use and traits and conservation actions that will help in the inform necessary during the conservation decisions. Okay, so the IUCN red list of the threatened species, whether we know that species whose population number are decreasing and are likely to become more severely threatened with time are said to be threatened species. Okay, so the IUCN, it is also known as the red data list. It was founded in 1964. So the International Union for the Conservation of the Nature, that is IUCN, is the world's main authority on the conservation of the status of the species. Okay, so it is having the authority on the conservation status of the species. And this red list is updated at least twice per year. Okay, so the red data book list, it is updated twice per year, and the next publication date of the IUCN red list is 4th or 7th September 2021. So already it has been updated, and the next second updating is done in 4th or 7th September 2021. And the IUCN red list, it provides the taxonomic data, conservation status, and distribution information on the species that are facing high risk of the global extinction, and hence we can say it is slightly related to the endemism. Okay, so here you came to know about the endemism. I hope you guys understood well. Thank you.